One drop of blood, 200 tests, no needles, no pain. That was the promise that captivated Silicon Valley. The problem? The machine did not work, and investors threw $700 million at it. This is the story of a girl who faked a medical miracle and then watched the whole empire burn to the ground. Back in 2003, she was role-playing a genius in her bedroom mirror. She would tell herself she was going to change the world and change everything. Her own reflection probably knew the voice was a total lie, but she did not care. She put on that black turtleneck like it was a suit of armor. She worshipped an old inventor who once electrocuted an elephant just to prove a point. College was a waste of time to her. When her professor called her ideas impossible fiction, she just lowered her voice 3 octaves and walked out the door. She named her dream Theranos. Therapy meets diagnosis. A billion-dollar name for a one-room operation. The pitch was simple. One tiny finger prick to find every disease in your body. No more scary needles and no more huge jugs of blood in the lab. Silicon Valley was completely hypnotized. Nobody even asked to see the blueprints. When they asked how the science worked, she just said it was a top-secret revolution. Her board of directors was basically a shadow government. She had generals and powerful politicians sitting at the table. These guys were brilliant at war, but they did not know a USB port from a kitchen toaster. By 2013, she was the youngest self-made billionaire on the planet. She was selling a fantasy to major stores like Walgreens before the technology even existed. Once you stepped inside the headquarters, it looked like the future. High-tech walls and biometric scanners everywhere. But inside the lab, the Edison machine was a box of total chaos. It leaked red ink, it failed constantly, and it was fundamentally broken. So they cheated. They hid machines from other companies behind a curtain to run the real tests. It was a theater of fraud. Employees felt like they were in a prison. If you spoke up, you were told to shut up. One lead scientist tried to warn them, but he was destroyed and eventually he was gone. Patients were getting horror results. People were told they had HIV or cancer when they were perfectly healthy. Then the whistleblowers emerged. Tyler and Erica were young, but they did not buy the lie. They saw the data being manipulated by hand. They saw the spies following them in black cars. Lawyers sent threats to bankrupt their families, but they met a reporter in a dark parking garage anyway. In October 2015, the Wall Street Journal dropped the hammer. The front page said the technology was a fraud. Elizabeth went on TV and tried to act like a martyr. She said this is what happens when you try to change the world. But the FBI did not care about her vision. They saw the pattern of lies. By 2018, the company was a ghost. The SEC called it a massive fraud. She lost her money and her crown. The trial in 2021 was her final performance. She traded the turtleneck for a gray suit and blamed everything on her partner, Sonny. She claimed he controlled her mind, but the prosecution had the emails. They had the receipts. January 2022, the verdict came down. Guilty. She got 11 years. Sonny got 13. The next Steve Jobs became just another number in the prison system. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and she never had any. Why did everyone believe her? Because people want to believe in magic. We live in a culture that rewards faking it, but you cannot fake biology. You cannot code a blood test like an app. Elizabeth Holmes was a master of psychology, not medicine. She knew powerful men love a young genius story. The labs are empty now and the machines are scrap metal, but the culture that created her is still out there. The next unicorn is already practicing its pitch in a mirror somewhere, wearing a different outfit and using a new voice. Don't be the one who believes the hype. Don't let a costume blind you to the truth. Science is slow and innovation is hard work. Anyone who tells you it is easy is usually selling a lie. One drop of blood, one massive fraud. Stay skeptical. I am out.